Hey, Bob Cheney here, lead pastor of GrandView Community Church, and I just wanted to share two things with you in this update video regarding the life of our church. Number one, I want to talk about here in a little bit the unveiling of our new mission and vision here in the entire month of March. And before that, I want to first talk about a challenge to make a plan to return to in-person worship here with us at GrandView. It's been an entire year. March 8th, 2020, we had a typical worship service here at GrandView. Little did we know that would be the last in-person service we would have for some 3 months, as we shut down and scrambled to figure out online-only possibilities and how we could communicate and worship together and all the things that we're trying to do with our church. And then in June of 2020, we reopened our doors. And for the last 8 months or so, we have been working hard to be safe in how we have in-person gatherings as well as having online gatherings at the same time. We've been working in person towards safety with things like fogging, disinfectant for our seating and other spaces, wearing masks and social distancing as we enter and exit the building and move about, social distancing with our chairs and seating as well to help us stay as individuals, our family units, 6 feet apart from others. And we've been working hard at that for the past 8 months. Last Sunday in March of 2020, we began our vision team process. So just 3 weeks after that last normal, quote-unquote, normal Sunday, 3 weeks later, we had our very first vision team meeting. So the challenges and life with COVID and our visioning process, vision team meetings, and including the whole church in those meetings, has been kind of going hand in hand for the past year. As lead pastor of our congregation, in concert with our elder chair, James O'Brien, we want to challenge you to consider your plan for returning to in-person worship for those of you who have not yet made that step. Now, we emphasize your plan, not our plan, but yours. We know this is going to be different for everyone. We're all in unique circumstances and situations, and so we challenge you to think through that. What is my plan to return to in-person worship? Is it when I get vaccinated? Is it maybe that 35 or whatever day period is after I get vaccinated? Is it once a certain percentage of the population is vaccinated? Is it some other factor that's in your life or your circumstances? We encourage you to think through what is your plan for returning to in-person worship. You know, as we began to deal with COVID in the life of our church, there was a couple things that stood out to us, and we realized that there's two unique settings and gatherings of the people of God, two unique ways of doing ministry. The ministry that happens in person and the ministry that can happen online, digitally. And so we began to process, how do we work through these things? And we came to the conclusion that both online gatherings and online ministry efforts and in-person gatherings and in-person ministry efforts, they are both irreplaceable. And so as a church, going forward, we're going to do our best to develop, and we are developing, a robust and an integrated model of doing both of those things well. We found that online is irreplaceable because of the online presence of people gathering to worship. People who may never walk foot in our church door, at least not initially, but they will gather with us online. Coming alongside our shut-ins who are at home, coming alongside families and individuals who maybe are sick and not able to attend, or maybe they're out of town, or maybe used to attend this church, but now they live in another part of the country, to be able to engage together online. Those who are awaiting a vaccine, all of these great connection points for people who just are not here physically for different reasons. Online ministry is irreplaceable. And In-person ministry is irreplaceable. Who would lead us in worship if we didn't have people here? Who would teach our kids in kids' church if we didn't have people present? Who would welcome people as they walk through the door for the first time or for the 1,000th time? Who could God use to connect you with somebody whose story is just like yours and they just happen to walk through the door on that particular Sunday and you two connect? But if you're not here, well, that can't happen, can it? So we have to say, okay, what's my plan for returning to in-person worship? Because it's irreplaceable. What am I willing to step outside for? Am I stepping outside for other things? Some of you, I know you're not. But some of you, maybe you are. Maybe you're stepping outside to go to the store or to go to work or for recreation. But it's become convenient to just worship online. We encourage you and say, as much as online ministry is irreplaceable, so is in person. And so we encourage you, what's my plan to return to worship? Another huge reason why it's so important to consider returning to worship in person is because we are on the cusp. This Sunday, in just a couple days, we're going to be beginning to unveil our mission and vision as a church. For the whole month of March, we're going to be unveiling it. And then near the end of March, we're going to be inviting you into it, saying, what's my part and how can I tie in? And we're going to give you specific ways that you can do that by joining a ministry team in some way or another. It could be something as simple as once a month. It could be weekly. It could be whatever, something in between, something completely different than that. But we want to engage everyone in our new mission and vision. So this is how it's going to play out in the month of March. March 7th, in 2 days, we're going to hear the heart of any good mission and vision, but one that's really been specific in the life of our church for a while, through the story of the Dwyer teens, Chris and Emma, through their grandparents, Bobby and Kathy Price, and through Aaron and Emily Cash, who came alongside them. And we're going to hear that whole family story. That's going to be the message for this Sunday. And so we encourage you to join us in person if you can. If you can't, or you're not ready yet, remember, make that plan to return, but join us online as well. That's March 7th. March 14th, the entire Vision team is going to be sharing from the platform the details of our new mission and vision. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to help you know where we're going, what are we doing. There's a very clear path for going forward for this church, really up until the year 2030. We have a 9-year plan in place that we're very excited about. And we think God's going to do great things through that. And then on March 21st, Pastor Steve RENNICK is going to be sharing about vision. And Steve is a dynamic speaker and has a great way of connecting what it means to be the church and moving forward. And so you'll want to hear him. And then finally on the 28th, we're going to be giving you that invitation to join a team, to understand the vision, but then now say, okay, where's my part? How can I be a part? We want to engage everyone, even those of you who are shut in. We want to engage everyone. And so we're going to be reaching out to you and saying, hey, where's a good place for you to fit? Have you made a plan to return to worship? If you haven't, I encourage you to pray through that, think through that, discover what your plan is. For those of you who will remain online only, those of you who are shut in or for whatever other purpose, we want to continue to engage you for sure. We're going to go deeper with our online ministry. It's going to become better, and we're going to have more ways of engaging you because both online and in person are irreplaceable. Hey, we look forward to seeing you this Sunday, whether that's in person or online, and we can't wait to begin to unveil our new mission and vision. Join us.